Hello and welcome to this week's newsletter. One of the questions I would ask is, are you struggling with your digestion? And do you want to know the 3 secrets that a lot of people don't know on how you can get on top of that? So we got an article for you to have a good read, but I'm going to show you a little bit of explanation about how digestion causes the disease process anyway from the very beginning and how you can actually get on top of it yourself. So I'm just going to share my screen here. So if I explain how digestion works, and digestion works in a simplicity, this is like how nature affects our body. So there are 3 different major elements: vata, pitta, and kapha. So if we look at your digestive system, so this is like your stomach. Your stomach is like a G shape type organ that its job is to digest food. So food comes into your system and it is changing my color. Food comes into your system and your body is supposed to cook that food, or your digestion is supposed to cook that food. We call that Agni, digestive fire. Now, if it doesn't cook the food and that food sits and ferments and becomes unfermented, or you're eating the wrong type of food for your body or for your body imbalance, then it starts to cause problems. So in the article, we talk about the issues around vata, pitta, and kapha. So we have vata body type, pitta body type, and kapha body type. But you can also have these imbalances. So vata is made up of elements like air and ether, and pitta is made up of elements of fire and water, and kapha is made up of elements of earth. Earth and water. Now, the thing is, these elements are elements that impact your body in a particular way. So if you're having food and you're digesting food, and your body's job is to digest that food and to cook that food, if the food doesn't get cooked and you have more things that are cold, raw, undigested foods, foods that might be more crackers, or things that are going to cause more dryness in the body, you'll end up with things more vata in your system. So you'll have a lot more air. So you'll have symptoms like constipation, bloating. You could have burping. You could have dryness in the tissue. You could have dryness in the body. And then it turns out to be more imbalances in your circulatory system. So your nervous system can be impacted. Now, if you have problems with pitta in your digestive system, so pitta ends up having more fire. So you can have more heat. So reflux, indigestion, like a sour taste. You can have burning stomach. You can have like exacerbated or too much hunger. So you're wanting to eat all the time. Your bowel motions can be loose. You can have urgency because, again, there's too much heat in your system. So you can have also skin irritations. You can have problems with blood issues and all sorts of different things. That's because pitta is now impacting that food. And when it goes into your system, into your digestion, it causes more of a big impact. The third one is kapha. So if you have too much kapha, that is more mucus in the body. So it has the elements of earth and water, which is heaviness. So kapha would feel like this feeling of nausea, this feeling of tiredness, fatigue, lethargy, aching, swelling in the body, this real desire of like, I can't be bothered doing anything. And you can also have that foggy head and things like that as well. So again, if you're eating too much kapha type foods like potato, fried oily foods, sweet foods, big carbohydrate foods, things like red meat, very hard to digest food. And then everything becomes heavy. So then if the digestive system doesn't deal with that heaviness, then it can't digest it. And the Agni doesn't work, which is digestive fire. And we produce something called ama. So ama equals toxins, which is digestive toxins. Now, those toxins become quite damaging to the tissue. Now, if it starts and stays in the digestive system and you sort it out, you might have things where you can have more warmer foods, more vegetables, hot water, medicated water that we prescribe to a lot of our clients. And you can have a look at the different lists in the article as well. If you are having things to combat that imbalance, and you're having more warm, unctuous food to combat the vata, you're having more cool, coming foods to combat the pitta, you're having more like stimulating foods to combat the kapha, then what happens is the digestive system doesn't have like a big drama and everything starts to become better. And then you don't have digestive problems causing the root cause of disease process, right? So now if this becomes what we call the 6 stages of disease, we talked about this like in another newsletter, is stage 1 is what we call aggravation. So aggravation is when something is happening on your digestive system, your body's not digesting this, it starts to cause an imbalance and you start to feel some sort of sign. It's usually the first sign of disease. And then when it starts to accumulate, this will start to accumulate, but it'll accumulate with dosha. So it'll accumulate more with vata, accumulate more with pitta, or accumulate more with kapha, or it'll have more air, more fire, or water. So then it's becoming, the signs and symptoms are coming more often. So you're going to get burping or bloating or constipation, or you're going to get reflux or indigestion or loose stools, or you're going to have this nausea or foggy feeling or heaviness in the stools. So this is still on a digestive level. The third level, the body goes, if I stay here, I'm going to get really sick. So the digestive system, as it's moving this food and digesting this food through the small intestine and then through like eliminating through the large intestine, what it will do is it will start circulating this into your body. And when it circulates it, it starts to spread it into the tissue. So if air starts to spread, you have more pain in your body. If pitta starts to spread, you have more heat and inflammation in your body. If kapha starts to spread, you have like more mucus and heaviness and swelling in your body. So then once it keeps going, it will start to localize, right? And it will localize in an area, and usually like, let's just choose joints. So it's going to localize in the joints, and it could cause a lot of inflammation in those joints. And when it localizes, it's now in a weak spot. So it's localized in an area. It could be joints, it could be liver, it could be blood, it could be eyes, wherever you have like a weak area. Stage 5 of the disease process is actually disease. This is now when the doctors can give this imbalance a name. So it could say this is diabetes, or this is cholesterol, high cholesterol, or blood pressure, or this is degeneration, or osteoarthritis, whatever. This is now got a name, and then now the doctors can give you some sort of medication or say this is what you do or don't do. Stage 6 of disease is what we call chronicity. So this becomes very chronic. So it's autoimmune disease or cancer. So then when it's starting to go like this, autoimmune disease or cancer, is the body is now attacking its good cells. So this is called the 6 stages of disease in Ayurveda, and it all starts at your digestion. So this is why this newsletter article is so important, is the secret of how you can solve these problems here on this side is how you can fix the digestive system at the first level before it starts to accumulate and move through and keeps moving through. We talk about with our clients, if you have gone to the spreading level and it's starting to move those toxins to the deeper tissue, that is the time to do detox or clean your body out, because once it localizes, it becomes harder to manage. Once it becomes disease, it becomes a lot more harder to manage. And definitely once it becomes cancer, it's a lot. But some of us tend to not do anything until it becomes really bad. But I suggest that now you know these secrets, start to apply these and try to deal with it at the first level. So I hope that helps, and hope you can understand a little bit more about why it's important. And if you are struggling with your digestion, the 3 secrets many people don't know, but if you apply them, look at the digestion first. Add that to your knowledge and your education, and there's some food for thought, which will help you to pull it all together. All righty, take care. Bye.